All the spiritual disciplines, prayer is the most central because it ushers us into perpetual communion with the Father. Meditation introduces us to the inner life. Fasting is an accompanying means. Study transforms our mind, but it is the discipline of prayer that brings us into the deepest and highest work of the human spirit. Real prayer is life creating and life changing. Prayer, secret, prevent, believing prayer, lies at the root of all personal godliness. William Carey says that to pray is to change. Prayer is the central avenue God uses to transform us. If we are willing to change, we will abandon prayer as a noticeable characteristic of our lives. The closer we come to the heartbeat of God, the more we see our need and the more we desire to be conformed to Christ. William Black tells us that our task in life is to learn to bear beams of love. You ask and do not receive because you ask wrongly. To spend it on your passion. James chapter 4 verse 3. To ask rightly involves transform passion in prayer. Real prayer. We begin to think God's thoughts after Him, to desire the things He desires, to love the things He loves, to will the things He wills. Progressively, we are taught to see things from His point of view. All who have walked with God have viewed prayer as the main business of their lives. The words of the Gospel of Mark, and in the morning a great while before day, he rose and went out to a lonely place, and there he prayed. Stand as a commentary on the lifestyle of Jesus. Mark chapter 1 verse 35. David's desire for God broke the self-indulgence chains of sleep. Early will I seek thee. Psalm chapter 63 verse 1. When the apostles were tempted to invest their energies in other important and necessary tasks, they determined to give themselves continually to prayer and the ministry of the word. Acts chapter 6 verse 4. Martin Luther declares that I have so much business I cannot get on without spending 3 hours daily in prayer. He held it as a spiritual axiom that he that has prayed well as studied well. John Wesley says that God does nothing but in answer to prayer, and backed up his convinced by devoting 2 hours daily to the sacred exercise. The most noticeable feature of David Brainerd's life was his praying. His journey is permeated with accounts of prayer, fasting and meditation. I love to be alone in my cottage, where I can spend much time in prayer. I set apart this day for sacred fasting and prayer to God.